Well, today we're going to take a look at this little soprano, this little Enya. A week ago, I did an unboxing video and showed how it came from Amazon, how they packed it, and took a look at all the accessories and the gig bag and all that stuff. So down here, I'm going to put a link to the unboxing video so you can see how it came to me and what the accessories are and how nice the gig bag is and all of that. In this, I just want to take a look at the actual instrument, hear it, look at how it's built, and give you my thoughts on that. Now, again, this is a soprano. I paid close to $70 for it. That's shipped because I have Prime. So 70 bucks. And we're going to take a look at this guy. Now what this is this is HPL. This is a high pressure laminate. So this is very similar to what Martin is doing with some of their sopranos. And that's why when you see them in all different colors. Because it's not obviously a solid wood or really a laminate wood. It's a high pressure laminate. So when you look inside, you don't see the koa look that you have on the outside. The inside's actually really dark. So even though this looks like a koa soprano, it's not. And the real design for this is to have an instrument that you feel comfortable traveling with, leaving in your car, taking on a plane, that can go from warm to cool weather without having to worry about the neck warping or whatever. Also, you don't have to worry about humidity. When in January, February, I live in the Mid-Atlantic in Virginia. We had a couple weeks there that were just unbelievably cold. And even though I have a humidifier in here, and even though we have a humidifier built into the house, I had to take all of my ukes and put them in cases with the Oasis humidifiers because the humidity, if it drops below 40, I'm not comfortable. The only one I left out was my concert Enya, and never did anything with it, and it's just fine. Well, this is the same exact thing, except this is an HPL. The Enya is actually a laminate wood. So let's take a look at this. I've got my little, they actually give you a little tag with it to tell you exactly what it has. So this is a koa pattern. And it's really, really nice. I mean, as I look at the instrument, I go, this is a nice looking instrument. I like the appearance of the, quote, koa. It has a mahogany neck and a rich light fretboard, black rich light fretboard, OX bone, nut and saddle, and it came with the Enya strings, which, as I said in the last video, suck. So there's your bridge. Some people think it's too big. I don't have a problem with it. String through. Now, that is, I've had all different bridges, slot, tie, pin, the whole deal. I understand the purpose for this. Stringing it is a pain in the butt. Once you get it strung, it's great. Because I don't change strings that often because I play every single instrument out of my wall gets played, and there's 8 of them now. 9 of them, actually. So there's your fingerboard. Very nice looking. It's got these little stars for markers. Now it does not come with side dots, so I actually added these. I got these, or I've never used these before. These were from String by Mail, so I will put the link for those for you guys, so you can check those out. These are kind of a transfer one versus a sticky, and they worked all right. I'm just not used to them. But I think they look nice. OX bone nut there. I think this is nice here, Martinish. the Enya there. And these gear tuners are very nice. Keep it in tune nicely. So there's two things I've done. I put the side dots on, and I've changed the strings to the new Aquila sugars. So whatever you hear on this thing as far as volume, brightness, sustain, in my opinion, this is as good as it's going to get. A couple things about this. First of all, it is not a light instrument, which is fine. It's not delicate either, so. But this is definitely probably one of the heaviest sopranos I own. And I had a couple questions on my YouTube on my unboxing. One was, how's the string height and what about the frets? The frets are great. They are not sticking out. That was the concern. This, by the way, is a radius fingerboard. Usually you have to pay a ton of money to get a radius fingerboard. Most sopranos are flat. This is a very slight radius. And really, if you didn't take a look at it and see the curve, you probably wouldn't even notice it. It does help, though, me, and I think most people with bar chords. The action on this at the 12th fret is 2.75, so it's perfect. So, and this is just how it came set up. So, as far as appearance goes, I think it's a nice looking ukulele. I think that the construction is great outside. I've looked for flaws and issues, problems, nothing. Looks really good. It does come with a wrench because, and it has strap pins here, here. This pin actually unscrews so you can take the neck off if you want to. I've not done that and never would need to do that. So you've got good action. You've got the frets are all nicely finished. Radius fingerboard. The inside is fairly clean. A little bit of glue on the one side sticking out. But I think they've done a decent job there. Remember, we're looking at a $70 ukulele with gig bag, and a nice gig bag, and you know, a tuner and all that stuff. So I think it's for good. It's a made in China instrument. So $70. If you're looking for like a travel instrument, I don't think that you can go wrong with this. This would be one for me. That's exactly what I would do, is if I was, you know, knew the weather conditions were questionable, I would take this versus any of my other ones. This is by far the least expensive one but I like it. I play it. It's a good use. Now, I would say all in all, mostly pros for this. The one issue, it's a little heavy, and that doesn't really bother me. The tuners on this, on the concert, and I'm not going to do that one, I decided to do that separately. They have kind of a rubber button on them. This is just a plastic, but it's nice. All in all, I would say it's great. The only issue that you may have is, hey, it's not real loud, and it's not. It's got volume, obviously, but this is not a booming soprano. But it's for what it is and what the price is, I think it's well worth it. Now, what about our famous C string issue on the 8th fret? Listen to that. It's not dead. Listen to that again. Sounds good. That's one of the first things I check on my ukes, by the way, now is the C string, 8th fret, or actually that's the 9th fret right here. And that's got sustained. It's not a wolf note, it's not a dead note. Very common on a lot of ukes, especially sopranos. So good sustain, and I attribute some of that to the Aquila sugar strings. So anyway, recommended? Yes. How can you beat $70? I love the way it looks. Clean, fairly clean build, a little glue on the inside. That's not a big thing. And you have the option to take the neck off like kind of like a Journey uke if you want to. So I would say if you're looking for inexpensive travel uke, or just an inexpensive uke that looks nice, and you've got the string through bridge, which I think probably helps a bit with the sustain once you get it strung, which is again a pain, but I do believe the sugar strings really help. So anyway, the Enya. This is the EUS-X1. I recommend it. I think it's a good buy off Amazon. And we'll have another review next week. I think I'm going to start reviewing 2 new Kawaya ukuleles, a KTS-4 and a KTS-7. Yes, a KTS-7. And we are going to be comparing those to a vintage Martin soprano that was built between 1947 and 1956 and weighs almost nothing. So you'll want to stay tuned to the next few videos. Are going to be looking at those individually, all 3 of them. And then I'm going to do a comparison between those 3 and the SK38 Ohana, which I personally feel is one of the best buys in soprano ukes today. All right. Thank you so much. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.